Welcome to another episode of the Chameleon Cook in Juan's World. And I'm continuing my series on mushrooms. I'm not sure how long I'm going to continue because we're going to be in Advent next week. And I might want to do a little Chameleon Christmas cooking. I'm not sure yet because my Christmas cooking is ultra traditional. I do vary things a lot. In fact, I may do something with Christmas pudding because I'm living in Cambodia and I can't get the ingredients that I can get in England or in the United States, so I do have to make substitutions, but it's still really pretty traditional. Anyway, we'll see. That's next week. Mushrooms are varied, as we've already seen, and today I'm going to focus on the method called en papillote, or in a package. And I'm showing you here inokitake mushrooms, and I first had them en papillote in a Japanese restaurant. I'm sure they didn't use the French, but I was really quite delighted by this way of cooking them because I didn't really know what to do with them because they're not all that flavorful. And this way, which I will explain when I get round to it in detail, was really delightful. So I copied it. And here you can just see the brief idea. That is, you wrap things up in foil and bake them. But I'll give you the full details in a little while, and then I'm going to move on to a little bit more complex dish with mushrooms, also en papillote. Let's get cooking. All right, well, let's start with the inokitakes. It's very, very simple. And when I had these in a restaurant, I knew exactly what to do. You place the inokitakes on a sheet of aluminum foil. You can also do it with a variety of other coverings, including greaseproof paper or baking parchment or whatever, as long as you can make a seal that is so tight that nothing escapes. And so for me, aluminum foil is just the easiest. You place the inokitakes on aluminum foil, you add some butter and a slice or two of lemon, you wrap it up very, very tightly, crimp the edges so that nothing can possibly escape. Pop in a hot oven. I usually use something around 220 degrees Celsius for about 35 to 40 minutes and then serve. It's as simple as you can imagine. Now I want to turn to a slightly more complex dish. It's not that much more complicated, but it was inspired by a dish I had in Jujuy province in the north of Argentina. And it was a dish that was vegetables en papillote, but a lot of mixed vegetables, and served in the foil, which was also in a casserole. So that it was served at the table, all wrapped up in the casserole, piping hot, and you had to be very careful you didn't burn your fingers. You open up the package and this steam comes out, beautiful aromatic steam, and you have all these rich vegetables inside. It was just wonderful. So I decided as a comedian cook I would replicate that dish and take some inspiration from my inokitake dish by making a mushroom casserole en papillote. And this is one of the reasons I don't really need video this time, because there's nothing much to it. First of all, you line a casserole with the aluminum foil with enough left over so that you're going to be able to wrap it tightly. Put in some butter and then layer in your mushrooms. And once again, I've got all of these different varieties of Asian mushrooms that I can get here. I've got inokitakes again. I've also got shiitakes, oyster mushrooms, what they call stem mushrooms, all kinds. Layer them in, then crimp and place in the oven, this time more like 45 minutes, because it does actually take a little bit of time for a big dish like this to cook all the way through. And then open up and you'll get this glorious puff of aromatic steam. What I like to do is just take the papillote out of the casserole and place it on a plate, but you can serve it in the casserole also. And I like to fry some bread in olive oil to eat with the mushrooms. I mean, the mushrooms by themselves could also work as a side dish, that's true, but this I used as a kind of light lunch, and so added a slice or two of bread in olive oil, slightly toasted. And later on, when I didn't have my camera out, that is, at dinner time, I still had some left over because I hadn't eaten it all. Then I scrambled up some eggs and I reheated the mushrooms and had them with scrambled eggs. So it's just a very, very simple dish for today, but I hope it inspires you. And if you like, you can just do what I had in Jujuy. You can just use vegetables, or you can mix all kinds of things up. You could put chicken in with the mushrooms, or ham, or anything you want. Leave it all up to your chameleon imagination. So if you like what I'm doing here, then remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on Friday with more opposites. I'm beginning to think that I might do yes and no. I'm not sure yet. Have a good week.